Hey everyone, what if I told you FEMA just quietly confirmed that winter 2025 could be the most chaotic and disruptive winter the US has seen in decades? And here's the kicker. You might be missing one critical item that could leave you stranded, freezing, and in the dark. Stick around, because in this video I'm revealing the 10 essential items FEMA says you absolutely need at home. And trust me, number 3 is something most people completely overlook. Over the past week, I've been diving deep into FEMA's official emergency preparedness guides, NOAA's 2025 winter outlook, and some eye-opening reports that most people don't even know exist. What I found, honestly, it's shocking. FEMA isn't just warning about snowstorms, they're preparing for widespread power outages, food shortages, and major supply chain disruptions in key regions across the country. In this video, I'll break down the 10 must-have items to keep your family safe and prepared, including 3 that are already disappearing from store shelves in parts of the Midwest. Don't wait until it's too late. Drop a comment below. Have you noticed price hikes or shortages on essentials like canned food, batteries, or propane? Your insights could help others stay ahead of the curve. Let's get into it. Item 10, 1 gallon of water per person per day. Water is non-negotiable. FEMA's rule is simple. You need at least 1 gallon of water per person per day, and not just for drinking. That gallon also covers cooking, cleaning, and basic hygiene. But here's the kicker. You need enough for at least 3 days. That's 3 gallons per person minimum. Why so much? Because when the pipes freeze or the power goes out, your tap might stop working altogether. Even if water is still flowing, it could be contaminated due to broken water mains or power outages at treatment plants. Imagine trying to make coffee, wash your hands, or clean a small wound without clean water. It's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Now don't just grab any old container to store your water. Milk jugs, for example, are a bad idea. They're not designed for long-term storage and can break down, leak, or even grow bacteria. Instead, invest in food-grade water containers. These are durable, safe, and widely available at camping stores or online. You can also repurpose clean soda bottles. Just make sure to rinse them thoroughly. Store your water in a cool, dark place, away from direct sunlight and chemicals, and don't rely on fancy filtered pitchers like Brita. They're useless if there's no water coming out of the tap. Bottled water is an option, but it's expensive and creates a lot of plastic waste. Preparing your own supply is more cost-effective and sustainable. Remember, water isn't just for drinking. You'll need it for cooking, cleaning, and even morale. In a winter emergency, having enough water isn't just about comfort, it's about survival. Item 9, a 3-day supply of non-perishable food. Food is fuel, and in an emergency, you'll need enough to last at least 3 days. FEMA recommends stocking up on non-perishable items that don't require refrigeration or extensive cooking. Think canned beans, tuna, peanut butter, granola bars, dried fruit, and nuts. These foods are shelf-stable, easy to prepare, and packed with nutrients. But here's the good news, your emergency stash doesn't have to be boring. Canned stews, instant mashed potatoes, and even ravioli can provide comfort and warmth during a storm. Brands like Hormel and Dinty Moore offer hearty options that just need a quick warm-up. And if you're on a budget, dollar stores are a goldmine for canned goods, crackers, and even shelf-stable milk. To keep your stash organized, use a Sharpie to label expiration dates and rotate your stock every 6 months. Avoid items that need refrigeration after opening, like deli meats or soft cheeses, unless you plan to eat them all at once. And skip recipes that require multiple ingredients or fancy gadgets. In a power outage, simplicity is key. Don't forget the little things that boost morale, like hot cocoa packets, hard candy, or instant coffee. A warm drink can feel like a hug on a cold, dark day. With a well-stocked pantry, you'll be ready to face whatever winter 2025 throws your way. Item 8, a manual can opener. This might seem like a small detail, but it's one of the most overlooked essentials when preparing for emergencies. Imagine this scenario. The power's out, the roads are iced over, and your pantry is fully stocked with canned food. A perfect solution, right? Except your trusty electric can opener is now entirely useless without power. Suddenly you're stuck trying to pry open a can with a butter knife or some other unsuitable tool. A definite recipe for frustration, potential injury, and wasted effort. A manual can opener is a remarkably simple, yet incredibly reliable tool that functions without electricity or batteries, working every single time you need it. It typically costs less than $5, takes up almost no storage space, and its mechanical nature means it's always ready. Keep this indispensable item stored directly with your canned goods or in your emergency kit so it's always within easy reach when an unexpected situation arises. Even if you usually buy cans with convenient pull tabs, don't assume you're in the clear. In a widespread emergency, store shelves are often picked over quickly, meaning you might end up with older-style sealed cans that require a traditional opener. Without a manual opener, all that precious food becomes essentially locked away and inaccessible. It's always a good idea to test your can opener before you truly need it. Use it on a can of tomatoes or soup to ensure it's in good working order, and you're familiar with its use. And if you don't already have one, invest in a sturdy all-metal model. These are built to last and won't let you down when you need them most, proving to be a critical component of your preparedness. Item 7. An alternative cooking source. When the power goes out for an extended period, your modern kitchen appliances from the electric stove to the microwave become completely useless. That's precisely why FEMA strongly emphasizes the importance of having a backup method to cook food and boil water, which is crucial for both nourishment and sanitation. You don't necessarily need a full elaborate camp kitchen setup. Something simple, safe, and inherently reliable will suffice. A single-burner butane stove is an excellent and practical option to consider. These compact stoves are typically affordable, incredibly easy to operate, and can run for several hours on a single, readily available fuel canister. Portable propane burners and cans of sterno-gel fuel are also solid choices, offering flexibility and different fuel options. Make sure to keep a few extra fuel canisters stored safely in a garage or shed, away from direct heat and sunlight, to ensure you have a continuous supply. With such an alternative, you'll be able to prepare hot, comforting meals and boil water for purification, even during a prolonged power outage. Safety, however, is absolutely critical. Never use outdoor grills, camp stoves, or generators inside your home or an enclosed garage. These devices produce carbon monoxide, an odorless, invisible gas that can be deadly when it accumulates in unventilated spaces. Always use any alternative cooking sources in a well-ventilated outdoor area, such as a covered porch, a patio, or even a garage with the main door fully open. For a very budget-friendly option, look for mini chafing fuel cans, often found at dollar stores. While not designed for extensive cooking, these can gently warm a can of soup or stew in a pinch, making a substantial difference. Remember, the goal here isn't about gourmet cooking during a crisis. It's about transforming cold, canned provisions into something warm and comforting. A hot meal can significantly boost morale, provide much-needed energy, and make a challenging situation feel a little more manageable for everyone. With a reliable alternative cooking source prepared, you'll be ready to face whatever winter 2025 or any other emergency has in store. Item 6. Warmth without watts. When the heat goes out unexpectedly, maintaining core body temperature and staying warm becomes an immediate and paramount priority to prevent hypothermia and other cold-related health issues. FEMA advises that it's far more effective to layer up before you start feeling cold, as it's much more challenging to warm up once you're already shivering and your body temperature has dropped. Start with essential items like thermal blankets, thick wool socks, snug knit hats, and insulated gloves. These items are typically lightweight, relatively compact for storage, and incredibly effective at trapping precious body heat, making them indispensable. For an extra layer of coziness and warmth, dig out those thick flannel blankets or cherished handmade quilts you might have. These aren't just nostalgic comfort items, they are highly practical insulators. Layering is truly key, so wear thermal underwear as a base, followed by sweaters and fleece pants to create insulating air pockets. Don't forget your feet and head. Thick socks or warm slippers can prevent significant heat loss, and a hat is essential for retaining body heat, especially on cold floors. If you're working with a budget, thrift stores often prove to be a treasure trove of warm clothing and blankets. You can frequently find quality wool throws, flannel shirts, and insulated vests for just a few dollars, providing excellent value for emergency preparedness. In a real pinch, even old newspapers can be creatively used as emergency insulation by trapping air between layers. Avoid using electric space heaters entirely, as they are completely useless without power and only serve to take up valuable space. Instead, consider disposable chemical hand warmers or microwavable heat packs if you have a way to heat them up before the power goes out, or if you use an alternative cooking source. And, as with cooking, never use ovens, gas stovetops, grills, or camp stoves to heat your home. These pose an extreme risk of carbon monoxide poisoning. To maximize the warmth within your living space, close off any unused rooms and consolidate everyone into a designated cozy survival zone. Hang blankets over doorways to create a barrier, close curtains to block heat loss through windows, and roll towels under doors to prevent drafts. It may not be glamorous, but these simple tactics work effectively to retain warmth. Ultimately, staying warm isn't just about personal comfort in a difficult situation. It's profoundly about safety and maintaining your health and well-being. Item 5. Battery-powered or hand crank radio. When a winter storm hits, your phone might not be the lifeline you think it is. Cell towers can go down, Wi-Fi can vanish, and your phone battery might drain faster than you expect. That's why FEMA insists on having a battery-powered or hand-crank radio in your home. This isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a must-have. Why is this so important? Because in a major emergency, a radio becomes your only reliable source of information. It keeps you connected to critical updates like weather alerts, evacuation orders, and boil water notices. During the 2021 Texas freeze, thousands of people were left in the dark, literally and figuratively. Those with emergency radios stayed informed, while others were left guessing about when power would return or which roads were safe. Modern emergency radios are more advanced than ever. Many models include NOAA weather channels, which provide real-time updates directly from the government. Some even come with built-in flashlights, USB ports for charging your phone, and solar panels for added versatility. Hand crank models are especially useful. You can crank for just a minute and get enough power to listen to the radio or send a quick text. These radios are also budget-friendly. You can find a reliable one for under $25 at most hardware stores or online. Look for features like multiple power options, battery, hand crank, solar, and USB, a rechargeable battery, and a loud, clear speaker. Test it monthly, just like you would a smoke detector, to make sure it's ready when you need it. Don't rely solely on your smartphone during a disaster. Phones lose signal quickly, and their batteries drain fast when you're using GPS, texting, or the flashlight. A dedicated emergency radio uses minimal power and can pick up signals even in remote or damaged areas. Store your radio in a place where everyone in your household can find it, like your emergency kit or a kitchen drawer. When the snow is piling up and the power is out, that little radio could be the only voice telling you what's happening and that everything will be okay. Item 4. Flashlights and extra batteries. When the power goes out, the last thing you want is to be fumbling around in the dark. That's why FEMA lists flashlights and extra batteries as non-negotiable items for winter preparedness. Candles might seem like a cozy alternative, but they're a leading cause of house fires during power outages. Flashlights are safer, more reliable, and far more practical. Start by getting at least 2 high-quality LED flashlights. LED models are brighter, last longer, and use less power than traditional flashlights. Keep one in your main living area and another in a bedside drawer or emergency kit. For added durability, look for flashlights that are water-resistant and impact-resistant. Winter storms can bring more than just darkness, they bring chaos. Now let's talk about batteries. Don't just toss a few into a drawer and forget about them. Store them in their original packaging or a labeled container and check expiration dates every 6 months. Alkaline batteries can leak over time and ruin your flashlight, so it's a good idea to rotate them regularly. Better yet, invest in rechargeable batteries and a solar or hand-crank charger. Many emergency radios come with built-in chargers, making them a versatile addition to your kit. For families with kids, consider adding small LED lanterns or glow sticks to your emergency supplies. Glow sticks are especially useful for calming anxious children during long outages. They last 8 to 12 hours and provide a soft, comforting light. Headlamps are another great option, especially for tasks that require both hands, like cooking or cleaning up. Skip the candles altogether. While they might feel nostalgic, they're a fire hazard, especially during a chaotic storm. The National Fire Protection Association reports hundreds of home fires each year caused by unattended candles during outages. A flashlight won't set your curtains on fire, and it's far more effective at lighting up a room. In a winter like 2025, where power outages could last for days, having reliable lighting isn't just about convenience, it's about safety. You'll need light to read medicine labels, check food packaging, and navigate your home without tripping over hazards. So stock up on flashlights and batteries now. Your future self will thank you. Item 3. First aid kit and prescription medications. When a winter storm hits, access to medical care can become a serious challenge. Roads may be buried under snow and ice, and pharmacies or urgent care centers might be closed. That's why FEMA emphasizes the importance of having a well-stocked first aid kit and at least a 7-day supply of prescription medications. Start with a basic first aid kit, which you can find for under $15 at most drugstores. But don't stop there. Customize it to meet your household's specific needs. Add extra gauze, antiseptic wipes, pain relievers like ibuprofen or acetaminophen, and allergy medications. If someone in your home has specific medical needs, include items like EpiPens, inhalers, or glucose tablets. Don't forget the small but essential tools: tweezers for splinters, scissors for cutting tape, and a digital thermometer for monitoring fevers. Check expiration dates on all items every 3 months and replace anything that's expired. Now let's talk about prescription medications. If you or a family member relies on daily medication, make sure you have a week's worth of extra pills on hand. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about getting an emergency supply. Some pharmacies even allow you to fill a vacation override to ensure you're prepared. Store these medications in a cool, dry place. Humidity can ruin them. For added preparedness, include electrolyte packets like Pedialyte to prevent dehydration, antacids for upset stomachs, and hydrocortisone cream for rashes or bug bites. These small additions can make a big difference during a prolonged emergency. Think of your first aid kit as your home's mini clinic. It's there to handle cuts, burns, fevers, and other minor issues without requiring a trip to the ER. In a winter like 2025, where isolation could last for days, your first aid kit might be your only source of medical care. Item 2. Cash in small bills. In today's increasingly digital world, it's remarkably easy to overlook the importance of physical cash. However, during a widespread power outage, the technology we rely on for financial transactions can become completely useless. Your credit and debit cards, reliant on electronic systems and internet connectivity, will cease to function. ATMs will be inoperable, and stores will be unable to process any digital payments, leaving you without a means to purchase even the most basic necessities. This is precisely why the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, strongly advises keeping a reserve of cash, specifically small bills, on hand at all times for emergencies. The emphasis on small bills is crucial. In a crisis situation, vendors or individuals providing services may not have the capacity or desire to break large denominations like $50 or $100 bills. Imagine a small family-owned diner, perhaps running on a generator, that accepts cash for a hot meal. They might genuinely not have change for a $20 bill. Similarly, if a neighbor helps clear your driveway after a blizzard, they likely won't be carrying a large float of change. Smaller denominations such as $1, and $10 are far more practical, widely accepted, and versatile for everyday emergency purchases. FEMA's recommendation is to maintain at least $100–200 in your emergency kit. It's vital to store this cash securely in a waterproof bag or a fireproof box to protect it from potential damage. This readily available cash can cover a range of critical essentials: buying food and water, purchasing firewood to stay warm, replacing dead batteries for flashlights and radios, or even simply acquiring a much-needed hot meal. For households on a tight budget, accumulating this emergency fund doesn't have to be a burden. A simple strategy is to set aside a small amount, perhaps $5 each time you go grocery shopping. By consistently doing this, you can build a solid emergency fund within just a few months without feeling a significant financial strain. Furthermore, it's wise not to consolidate all your emergency cash in a single location. Distribute it strategically. Keep a portion in your main emergency kit, stash a small amount in your car's glove box, and perhaps even tuck an envelope into a frequently worn coat pocket during the colder winter months. This dispersal ensures that you will always have access to some cash, regardless of where you might be when a disaster strikes or if you have to evacuate quickly. In a winter scenario like 2025, where supply chains could be disrupted and power outages might extend for days, cash transitions from a mere convenience to an absolute essential. It serves as your reliable backup currency when the digital economy goes silent and traditional payment methods fail. Item 1. A family communication plan. While not a tangible item that you can pack into a box, a robust family communication plan is, according to FEMA, the single most critical preparation you can make. This proactive strategy ensures that every member of your family knows exactly what to do, how to connect with each other, and where to go if a severe winter storm or other emergency disrupts your normal routines and communication channels. Begin by designating an out-of-state contact person. This individual will serve as the central hub for your family's communication. The reason for choosing someone outside your immediate area is pragmatic. Local cell towers often become quickly overloaded or damaged during widespread disasters, making local calls difficult or impossible. Long-distance lines, however, tend to remain open and functional for longer periods. Every member of your household, from adults to older children, should be instructed to call or text this designated out-of-state contact to check in and relay messages. This prevents individual family members from repeatedly trying to reach each other on potentially jammed local networks. Next, identify and establish 2 distinct meeting spots. One should be a safe and easily accessible location, very near your home, perhaps a neighbor's house or a community center, for situations where it's safe to stay in the immediate vicinity. The second meeting spot should be further away, outside your neighborhood or even in another town, in case your home or local area becomes unsafe or inaccessible. Crucially, write down these locations along with the out-of-state contacts information and ensure every family member has a copy, perhaps on a laminated card in their wallet or backpack, and a master copy on the refrigerator. Practice your plan regularly, just as you would a fire drill, especially if you have young children, so that everyone understands their role and the procedures instinctively. A family communication plan is fundamentally not about dwelling on fear, but about fostering resilience and maintaining calm and connection during moments of crisis. It empowers your family with a clear course of action, reducing anxiety and confusion. In a challenging winter like 2025, with its potential for isolation and uncertainty, having such a plan could truly be the defining difference between overwhelming chaos and invaluable peace of mind. Bonus point 1, backup power solutions. When the power goes out, it's not just the lights that stop working. Your heating system, refrigerator, and even your ability to charge essential devices can be compromised. That's why having a backup power solution is one of the smartest moves you can make for winter 2025. While FEMA doesn't list this as a core item, it's a game changer for anyone who wants to stay ahead of the storm. Let's start with the basics. Portable power banks. These small, affordable devices can keep your phone, tablet, or even a small fan running for hours. Look for models with a high milliamp hour rating, 1 milliamp hour rating. 10,000 milliamp hour or more is ideal. Some power banks even come with built-in solar panels, allowing you to recharge them during daylight hours. For those who want to take it a step further, consider investing in a portable generator. These come in two main types: gas-powered and solar-powered. Gas generators are more powerful and can run multiple appliances, but they require fuel and must be used outdoors to avoid carbon monoxide poisoning. Solar generators, on the other hand, are quieter, eco-friendly, and safer for indoor use, though they may not provide as much power. Another option is a UPS uninterruptible power supply system. While these are typically used for computers, they can also keep small appliances or medical devices running during short outages. They're especially useful if you work from home and need to protect your electronics from sudden power cuts. Don't forget to stock up on extra batteries for smaller devices like flashlights, radios, and smoke detectors. Rechargeable batteries paired with a solar charger can save you money and reduce waste in the long run. Finally, think about your heating needs. While most backup power solutions can't run a full HVAC system, they can power space heaters or electric blankets for short periods. Just make sure to use these devices safely and follow all manufacturer guidelines. Backup power solutions aren't just about convenience, they're about maintaining a sense of normalcy and safety during a crisis. Whether it's keeping your phone charged to stay connected or running a small heater to stay warm, having a reliable power source can make all the difference in a weird winter like 2025. Bonus point 2, emergency clothing and footwear. When we think about winter preparedness, we often focus on food, water, and shelter. But what about the clothes on your back? In extreme cold, the right clothing can mean the difference between comfort and hypothermia. That's why emergency clothing and footwear deserve a spot on your winter prep list. Start with the basics, layering. FEMA and other experts recommend wearing multiple layers to trap body heat and keep the cold out. Begin with a moisture-wicking base layer made of synthetic materials or merino wool. This layer pulls sweat away from your skin, keeping you dry and warm. Next, add an insulating layer like a fleece or down jacket. Finally, top it off with a waterproof and windproof outer layer to protect against snow and icy winds. Don't forget about your extremities. Up to 30% of body heat can escape through your head, so a good hat is essential. Look for one made of wool or fleece for maximum warmth. Gloves or mittens are another must-have. Mittens are generally warmer, but gloves offer better dexterity. For your feet, invest in thermal socks and insulated waterproof boots. Cold, wet feet can quickly lead to frostbite, so this is not an area to skimp on. For those who spend a lot of time outdoors, consider adding hand and foot warmers to your kit. These small disposable packets generate heat for hours and can be a lifesaver during prolonged exposure to the cold. They're also great for kids who may struggle to stay warm during power outages or outdoor activities. Thrift stores are a budget-friendly option for finding winter clothing. You can often score high-quality wool sweaters, flannel shirts, and insulated jackets for a fraction of the retail price. Just make sure to wash and inspect them thoroughly before use. Finally, think about emergency footwear. If you need to evacuate or navigate icy terrain, sturdy, slip-resistant boots are a must. Look for boots with good ankle support and thick soles to protect against the cold ground. If you live in an area prone to ice storms, consider adding traction cleats or crampons to your footwear. These attach to the bottom of your boots and provide extra grip on slippery surfaces. Emergency clothing and footwear might not seem as critical as food or water, but in a winter emergency, they're just as important. Staying warm and dry isn't just about comfort, it's about survival. Bonus point 3, mental health and entertainment supplies. Winter emergencies aren't just physically challenging, they can take a toll on your mental health as well. Long power outages, isolation, and uncertainty can lead to stress, anxiety, and even depression. That's why it's important to prepare not just for your physical needs, but for your emotional well-being too. Start by creating a comfort kit filled with items that bring you joy or help you relax. This could include books, puzzles, board games, or craft supplies. For families with kids, consider adding coloring books, toys, or simple DIY projects to keep them entertained. The goal is to have activities that don't require electricity and can help pass the time during long outages. Music can also be a powerful mood booster. If you have a battery-powered or hand-crank radio, tune into a music station to lift your spirits. Alternatively, download your favorite playlists or audiobooks onto a device with a long-lasting battery. Just make sure to conserve power by using headphones and keeping the volume low. Another way to maintain mental health during a crisis is to stay connected with loved ones. If cell service is available, check in with friends and family regularly. Even a quick text or phone call can provide reassurance and reduce feelings of isolation. For those without cell service, consider using walkie-talkies or two-way radios to communicate with neighbors or nearby family members. Don't underestimate the power of comfort food. While your emergency stash should focus on non-perishable items, it's okay to include a few treats like chocolate, cookies, or instant hot cocoa. These small indulgences can provide a much-needed morale boost during tough times. Finally, consider mindfulness or relaxation techniques to manage stress. Deep breathing exercises, meditation, or even a few minutes of stretching can help you stay calm and focused. If you're new to these practices, there are plenty of free resources online that you can download or print in advance. Mental health and entertainment supplies might not be the first things you think of when preparing for a winter emergency, but they're essential for maintaining a sense of normalcy and resilience. In a weird winter like 2025, staying mentally strong is just as important as staying physically prepared.